Welcome back to Culture Connect. As part of a filmmaker's royal flush, I'd like to introduce Tony Jonick. He was born in Honolulu, Hawaii, and raised in the Fiji Islands and Sydney, Australia. In 1975, his family returned to the United States. In 2005, he graduated from San Francisco State in creative writing after 20-plus years in publishing and graphics. He took a job with Apple, where he began to make short movies for internal use. He made his first short, Jump Cut, in 2012 with 2 actor friends and a camera. In 2013, he joined the Scary Cow Film Co-op in San Francisco, where he has worked with other members on numerous short films. And welcome, Tony.
Thank you very much.
Before we start our interview, I'd love it if you could introduce the film that got me to get you here.
Thank you. It's called Grandmama Tlzédeczkanü Comes to America. It's a documentary of sorts of a possible great-grandmother of mine. The story is that I found a cassette in my mother's house of her grandmother, and it tells the tale of how she came to America as a young girl and the various trials and tribulations she had getting here, and including some unusual bargains she had to make.
Okay, and let's watch that trailer. I messed up the beginning.
Ghesmashkikcili sind halbgesgesuchen, hochen Gachkatschun Kellerison. Sind uns Kästchen Helft nach dir zugrunde, und als sind uns Schmitzkiska. Sind wir uns lang sind. Stolen die Märchen Schuppen Bierpens. Schnutag des Grund, es sind Gerdes zu dieser Zeit zu löschen. Wenn ich fand schon tun, es gut Neischchen betrifft ja. Mi weitere Schlüsseln dort dann Zesken löschen. Mi weitere Schlüsseln mit uns Naskis zu Zesken. Para que não consiga, não esqueça que eu tive traço. Eu sinto que me esqueça. Deixa eu sentir as coisas. Deixa eu já ter nós que dá. Deixa eu ser disco mais triste. Deixa eu teste que se sinto alles do pedaço. Deixa eu tentar né. Deixa eu não se ver mais triste que dois que falar disso ao pedaço.
Well, Tony, what can I say? I mean, well, what I can say is I saw the film when it was at the screening at the Scary Cow at the Castro.
Yes.
And I was so in love with the film and kind of the gestalt of the film that I had introduced you to another film festival. And
the Bernal Heights Outdoor Film Festival, which was kind enough to show it.
Right, and I met you for the first time there, really. And then what was so interesting at the screening, I think we screened it 3 times to 3 audiences, and each one thought that that was a real language and a real story. I mean, many of the people. Does that happen, or?
It does. People are very interested in the language. Like all stories, just because it never happened doesn't mean it's not true. So I certainly tried to make a true film, funny film. And everybody wants to know about the language. Everybody wants to know how the language works, what country this is, everything like that. And I have a lovely time every time people are confused.
And so this is a mockumentary. So what is the language?
It's, if I can say it correctly, Ghesmashkikcili.
And you made it up.
Yes, yes. And from a country that no longer exists. I always say that it's west of Albania and east of Azerbaijan. So.
And we were talking the other day, and you said that it was kind of an inspiration based on your own immigrant experience.
Right. Even though I was born in America, Honolulu in the 1960s, we moved several times, and then before coming back to the mainland of America, and each move was a very different world. And so even though I'm American, speak the language, et cetera, et cetera. It was culture shock every single time. And, but I have a lovely family, and we all held together and, you know, learned in every single place that we went to find a home, find friends.
And you're also a writer and an actor?
Yes. I was originally writing a lot of short stories and poems, and realized the likelihood of people seeing those, reading those, was a lot less than if I put them up on film. And that's worked out very well. A lot of people have enjoyed them, and I'm having a wonderful time making movies now, and so it's a lot of fun. I acted a bit in high school. I've acted in a few other things, and so now I've had the opportunity to act in a number of films for Scary Cow, which has been a lot of fun. I've had my beard grown out to here. I've been eaten by zombies. I've shot at cowboys. I've just had a lovely time.
And just briefly, what is Scary Cow?
Sure. Scary Cow Film Co-op, I guess it was founded about 8.5 years ago. It's a group of people that come together in San Francisco to all work on each other's films. You pitch a film. If you've worked on other people's films and gotten to meet folks and you all like each other, then they may come and want to work on your film. And so you have an opportunity to learn a number of skills that you might not have had before. And you have the opportunity to have your films made by people who are incredible sound artists, incredible camera people, VFX folks, and it's really nice.
But a lot of the people don't, when they start in on Scary Cow, they may not know anything. Is that true too?
That's true. I had made my first film on my own with a DSLR camera and a microphone, and I'm holding the microphone and the camera and walking backwards, relying on the actors to tell me not to step into traffic. And when I came over to Scary Cow and saw how a film set works, how the people work together, and was able to field, for my very first film, 20 people.
Wow.
It was just mind-blowing. It was a whole new world. And I've been lucky to work on a number of other people's films as well.
Talking about that, what's one of the films you're working on now? And I think you're in post on the film?
Yes. One of the ones I've spent the whole last year co-producing is called Ghost in the Gun. It's a supernatural Western. It's written and directed by a young man named Andrew Chen, sorry, young to me, as I tap the microphone. It's a beautiful film. It's all shot in a number of places around the Bay Area, in Trona Pinnacles, which is north of Death Valley. We have full-on costumes, actors, makeup, horses, guns, gunfights, blood, the whole 9 yards.
Wow.
And it's looking great. It's going to be showing at the Scary Cow Film Festival in November, and the preview of it will be coming out very soon.
Wow. And you said you're working on another piece too.
I'm working on a couple of things for myself. I'm trying to work on another small one similar to this one that I need minimal people. A story about a library in a culture where people believe in reincarnation, and so they write down the stories of their previous lives, read each other's stories, and write themselves into each other's stories. I'm also working on a full-length feature for Richard II,
Wow.
which I'm trying to do modern dress, modern language as a mafia power struggle story. And I'm hoping to go into production on that sometime at the beginning of next year.
Wow.
And so a few ambitious things and a few fun small things.
And your films are produced through Kingfisher?
Kingfisher Talking Pictures. That's just the name of the group that I came up with. And I've been lucky enough to put that on all the front of my films. But again, the crew rotates around. So I get to direct, write, produce, but I also have people helping me with every single step of this. And it's great.
So am I understanding it right? You're a self-taught filmmaker? Is that?
Self-taught, if you want to say that. I've been on a lot of film sets and had a lot of people teach me as well. So when I want to learn a little bit about camera, I'll do a second AC on somebody's then try and go first AC. I haven't shot for anybody yet. I still have to build that up. But every single piece, I've been either able to work with people or learn it. So it's been wonderful.
And it must give you a lot of insight to wear so many hats and work with professionals at the same time, and also be an actor. I mean, are you going to be in the Henry
Richard II, excuse me. No, I would just be directing that, because as a feature, I'm going to need every ounce of my things. Who knows, maybe I'll walk on stage and get stabbed by somebody. But that would probably be about it.
And who would you say are you inspired? What filmmakers inspire you?
Certainly the first filmmakers that I loved the most were Kurosawa and Hitchcock. I'm certainly a fan of Wes Anderson right now. He's a lot of fun. Alexander Payne, who does The Descendants, Sideways, etc. Wonderful storyteller. Every other Coen brothers film. I don't know which brother directs what, but I seem to like every other Coen brothers film.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's something.
And what would you say if a young filmmaker came to you and said, you know, I want to make this film, and I have what advice would you give them?
This actually happens to me quite a bit. I work with a lot of young, talented people at Apple, and I try to introduce them to this community so that they can be a part of it. I don't know that film school is quite as necessary in the Bay Area because of this, and it's connections, it's finding the people that you want to work with, and everybody bringing something to the party, and being able to find something that you like. The more sets you can get on, the more you'll learn, the more you figure out what you like. And so that's been a lovely thing about Scary Cow. You know, I can get on a dozen film sets a year if I want. It really is cool.
Wow, well, thank you so much, Tony. I can't believe how much you have going on. That's pretty impressive. And you work full-time on top of that. So you're pretty passionate about filmmaking.
Definitely.
And I look forward to seeing your upcoming film again in November at the Castro.
It'll be at the Castro first Saturday in November.
And the name of that film is?
The Ghost in the Gun.
The Ghost in the Gun. So we'll watch out for that. Thank you so much for coming,
Thank you so
Tony.
much.